While the transport of cargo has given rise to megaships, so too has the transport of people. For hundreds of years prior to the development of long-range aircraft, ocean liners were the dominant mode of travel between continents, driving the development of seafaring giants. With the travel industry powering the construction of ships, each bigger and more excessive than the last, this growth has not been without disaster. Once the biggest moving vessel ever made by man, today, the RMS Titanic looms large from its grave beneath the waves as the most infamous ship in history. This is all that's left of the vessel that was once celebrated as being unsinkable.
Titanic was built by Howland and Wolff in Belfast in Northern Ireland. She was about 47,000 tonnes, not particularly a big ship. The present famous liner, Queen Mary II, the Cunard line, for example, is 3 times the gross tonnage of Titanic. But she and her sister ship, Olympic, and the still under construction Britannic, were the largest ships on the North Atlantic.
Departing to great fanfare on its maiden voyage from Southampton, England to New York in April of 1912, the Titanic set sail with approximately 2,240 passengers and crew aboard. Powered by a combination of 2 reciprocating 4-cylinder triple expansion steam engines and a single steam turbine, the ship produced a total of 46,000 horsepower. With steam produced by 29 boilers, 600 tons of coal needed to be shoveled by hand each day. Offering the highest levels of comfort ever seen in commercial transport, while the Titanic's first-class accommodations and services stole the show, even those travelling in third class, by far the largest group aboard, enjoyed superior amenities than any other ship of the era. Four days into its voyage across the Atlantic, the Titanic received warnings of drifting icebergs from other ships in the area. Not considered a serious threat to a vessel as large and as advanced as the Titanic, the doomed passenger liner continued at its full speed of around 22 knots until moments before the jagged underwater spur of an iceberg struck its starboard side.
The iceberg cut a series of quite small holes into the shell plating of the ship below the waterline. Had those holes been in one compartment, there wouldn't have been a problem. They certainly wouldn't have arrived in New York on time.
Following the collision with the iceberg, the seams of the buckled hull separated to allow 5 of its 16 watertight compartments to fill with water. The ship could only survive the flooding of 4. Although exceeding the safety standards of the day, the Titanic carried only enough lifeboats for 1/3 of its total capacity. And in the haphazard abandoning of the ship, these precious few lifeboats were launched underfilled.
The Titanic tragedy left such a mark on everybody throughout the world, because how could something like that possibly happen? Well, it can, and it did under those circumstances.